Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I need to make a correction. My apologies to people who are on SSI. Yesterday, I completely forgot that there was a Supreme Court ruling from 2021 or 2022, one of the two, which excluded three U.S. territories where Social Security SSI recipients can stay. Three were excluded in either 2021 or 2022. And I want to shout out Teddy Ramos for correcting me on this. I believe he's in Puerto Rico. If you are a Social Security recipient of SSI, Supplemental Security Income, there are three U.S. territories the Supreme Court ruled you cannot stay more than 30 days. Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, Guam. They are not, what do they call it? Welfare territories. You cannot stay there on SSI. Shout out again to Mr. Teddy Ramos for correcting me on that. I completely forgot that Supreme Court recently ruled on those three territories that SSI recipients can no longer live. Okay? I wanted to make sure I get that correction out there. Second thing, roll call Saturday. Yes, or Saturday roll call. Yes, it is happening tonight. Saturday roll call, same 8 p.m. That's happening tonight. All right. Something real quick I want to talk about, and I'm not going to be on long. I'm supposed to be going to Price Mart here in a little bit. So something real quick. I've gotten 5 different questions about applications and applying for different grants. Okay. So let's talk about that real quick. When it comes to grants, I want to make sure I say this correctly. All right. I want to make sure I get things in order correctly. When it comes to grants, okay, normally grants are awarded. They're not something you typically have to apply for. Normally, when you're applying for a grant, it's usually because there was a mistake. The VA omitted or forgot to put something on your app or your award letter that you were entitled to. That's normally when you apply. For example, you have a qualifying disability. It's in the award letter that you have this qualifying disability, but they forgot to award you like the auto grant or the housing grant. That's when you go and you make the correction. You can file a CLU, clear, unmistakable error. Okay. That's typically, now there are a couple of exceptions to that. For example, an exception would be your doctor really feels you need this to help you in your daily life. Your doctor has took the time out and wrote out a letter, or your psychiatrist has wrote out a letter explaining verbatim why you need this specific grant. Okay, that would be an exception. Here's the other side of that. If you just go online to va.gov and you read that the housing grant will allow you to spend up to $60,000 a year repairing things to your house or adding things or changing your bathroom, changing your kitchen, yada, yada, yada. Okay. You have 0 qualifying disabilities, and yet you will get online and ask people who knows how to fill out this application correctly. Okay. Let me help you guys out who are looking at these things and saying, I want this benefit. If you don't have a qualifying disability, you will not be granted anything. The majority of the time, the VA won't even respond to your application. You will put in an app. Let me give you a perfect example of what happens. People will put in an application asking for, let's say, the auto grant. Have 0 qualifying disability for the auto grant. They put in an incomplete application. because, and I've showed this before, anyone who's applying for the auto grant, which that's normally not a benefit you apply for, because when you look at the application, they're asking you for the car, how much the car is, where you're buying the car from, and the signature from the dealer. Why would they do that? Because that's something you've already been awarded that you're just completing. That application is not an application asking for the grant. That is an application completing the grant. Same with the housing grant. When you fill out the application for the housing grant, what's one of the first things they ask you for? The qualifying letter that you got. You're going to need to send that with it. You don't even have it because you're asking for the grant. You guys understand what I'm saying? When you put these applications in, okay, and people who know they don't qualify, you're just taking time away from a veteran who actually qualifies for something or a benefit that they've been waiting on. They're now having to take time to respond to something you put in that you have no shot at. None. Let's just keep it 100. When I see people ask me, hey, I need help filling out this application. And I'm like, what application? For the housing grant. And the first thing, do you have a qualifying disability for the housing grant? No, but I want to put in for it. For what reason? Because if you don't have a qualifying disability, why would you think they're going to give it to you? I'm simply asking a question out there for anybody to answer. If you don't have anything that qualifies you for the benefit, why are you putting in the application? In hopes that they'll give it to you? When have our government ever given anybody anything because they hope it is going to happen or they feel it should happen? They go off of tangible evidence, something written down by someone that says, yes, you have this. Yes, you qualify. We're going to award you the benefit. But when you don't have it, guys, ladies and gentlemen, as much as you may feel you want it or you need it or you deserve it, if you don't have anything tangible that says you qualify, you're not going to get it. I hate to break that to you, but you're not going to get it. They're going to ignore you. So for all of you all out there putting in applications, knowing you have no qualifying disability, and when you go to va.gov, you don't even see your claim there anymore. Or you go to e-benefits if it's still up and you don't see your claim there anymore. Let me tell you what that means. That means that your application was incomplete and they just threw it in the trash. They ain't gonna even look at it. Threw it in the trash. When they take that auto grant, they see the front part, and when they flip it over, qualifying disability, type of vehicle, what year, what amount, dealer signature, they got none of that. They're gonna take that out, wear a piece of paper. Well, I'm going to use something as an example. They're going to take your app, throw it right in the trash. Throw it right in the trash because it's a waste of time. Same with the housing grant. What qualifying disability do you have? If you don't have one, please stop putting in these applications, wasting the VA's time, wasting your time, getting your hopes up for something you're not going to get. Now, on the other hand, if you have a qualifying disability and it was missed, man, I don't care if you got to move heaven and earth to get your benefit. Go get your benefit. If you have a qualifying disability, if you have loss of use at 40%, go get your auto grant. Go get your housing grant. Go get it. I am not sitting here telling people not to apply for something you clearly qualify for, but that is the key word, qualifying. You need to have qualifying disability. You need to have medical evidence that show you have qualifying disabilities. Okay? It cannot just be, this is something I want to apply for. This is not a job. You're not applying for a job. You're not applying for food stamps. This is something you need to have already before you try to do it. If you don't have it, you don't qualify for it, let it go. This is just something you're not going to get. Not every veteran is going to get every single benefit out there. We all don't qualify for every single thing. That's just like every veteran is not going to be 100%. They're not. They're not. So there is no point, man. And I'm being dead serious about this. And some of you all are setting yourselves up for failure because, as myself, Loving Freedom, and others who have recently had applications in for benefits, they're going to review your entire file and make sure that that benefit you have, that disability you have, is still the same way. Because they're looking to downgrade whoever. So as you put in these frivolous claims that you have no shot of, that may cause them to open up your complete file and go through it and say, wait a minute, he hasn't had any issues with his knees in how long? 3 years, 4 years? Maybe we need to downgrade this from 40% to 20%. I'm not saying that's exactly what they're going to do, but they have done that. So don't just throw frivolous stuff out there knowing that you have no shot of getting these claims, guys. That's all I'm saying. I don't care who's online saying, hey, just put in this application and see what happens. Yeah, put that application in and see if they don't try to go back and see if they can downgrade you somehow to keep you from filing these damn claims all the time that you got no shot of. I'm being dead serious when I tell y'all this. If you have a qualifying disability, by all means, go get what's owed to you. But if you don't have it, ladies and gentlemen, please don't keep filing for stuff you don't have that you got no shot of. You're wasting your time. Your medical records show your history. All right. If all of a sudden out the blue, you're telling people you need a caregiver, you ain't never mentioned a caregiver before, you ain't never had no signs prior last 5 years you needed a caregiver, but all of a sudden now, with no doctor or anyone else saying this, you now decide you want to apply for the caregiver program. Come on, man. Let's be serious about this. Let's be serious. If you're the average person out there and you hear this veteran say, oh, they'll give your spouse $4,000 a month just to be with me all day, I'm going to go apply for the caregiver program. And you ain't never talked about it before. You ain't never applied. Your doctor ain't never heard you say anything about it, but now you want to apply. What do you think is going to happen in that situation? I'm just saying, man, it's like sometimes, guys, you have to just face facts. You're not going to get everything you want. Some of you guys have got to stop looking at the SMC rates and trying to figure out a way of how you going to get $10,000 a month. Stop. Be happy with what you got. There are people in this world who got nothing. You got at least $50,000, $60,000 a year, and you ain't doing a damn thing. Nothing. And you're still trying to get more and more and more. Okay? Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. What's going on, Barry? How you doing today? Hey, T-Mix. I was in VA last week. Oh, you talking to T-Mix? I don't know if she's still here or not. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this morning. Again, I want to make the correction and apologize to people on SSI. I made an error. I want to make sure I correct that error, which is the Supreme Court ruled in either 2021 or 2022, you can Google it, where 3 U.S. territories are exempt from Social Security SSI recipients living in these 3 territories: Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and Guam. You cannot live in those 3 U.S. territories. The other ones you still can, but those 3 you cannot. So 30 days, that's all you get in those 3 in a calendar year, just like you going to any other country. You only get 30 days out of a calendar year. That is it. All right, guys. So, hey, I appreciate everybody watching as always. And until the next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your day.